Congratulations on getting your InBody test done. Here is how you can read through the results. But before I give you how to read through the results, I want to let you know, don't worry if you're not happy with your preliminary look at what your results are. You probably had a subjective feeling that your markers might have been a little off when you started this challenge or when you did the reading, and now you came in and all the machine has simply done is giving you the objective data to say, yes, your markers are off, and this is by precisely how much. So don't be mad if you don't like them, just be happy that you know what ground zero is, and the only place to go from here is in the right direction. Here's how you can read your data. Starting at the very top box where it says body composition analysis. All the way over to the right of that box is going to be your overall weight. That's what the InBody explained to you. From there, you can see next to it that it expresses your lean body mass. Your lean body mass is how much you would weigh if you had 0% body fat, which we know is impossible. You cannot do that. If you look below there, it says body fat mass. And if we add your body fat mass to your lean body mass, that will tell us your total body weight. If you look next to lean body mass, you can see that the machine can tell you how much of you is made up of water. So if you take your water weight, subtract it from your lean body mass, that tells you what your dry lean mass is, which really isn't even that much of a significant number. It just tells you how much your muscle mass would weigh if you didn't have any water included in it. Not even that important. However, what the machine can do is it can break down your body water weight into intracellular water and extracellular water. That is an important information to know. It's not an exact measurement, but it is a correlate of your inflammation levels. And it is best expressed down below on the paper where it says ECW/TBW analysis. And what that box means is it is your extracellular water to total body water weight analysis. And right now it is expressing to you what your inflammation level is. Now we don't really know what a homeostasis inflammation level for you is until you come skipping through the door to get on the InBody machine, because your fitness is dialed in, your nutrition is dialed in, your stress is dialed in, your sleep is dialed in, your pharmaceuticals are dialed in, life is in harmony with itself, and you want to know what your inflammation levels is. Now, if you look to the very, very bottom, you'll see where it says body composition history. And right there at the very bottom of it, you will see that ECW/TBW, extracellular water to total body water weight category. And if you look right there, it's got today's date, and it has a data point. And as you collect data points, you'll see that this will travel up and down, and you will eventually be able to look at all of your readings and be able to say, wow, what was I doing there? My inflammation was low. Maybe you gave up dairy. Maybe you were really in tune with your nutrition. So that will be an indicator of what is a good level of inflammation for you. And you can't look at somebody else's level of inflammation and try to compare it to theirs, because everybody has varying levels. Back up to the top. Let's move into the muscle/fat analysis. At the very top, it once again says what your weight is. It then lists your skeletal muscle mass. Your skeletal muscle mass is going to be the most significant measurement of the musculature in your body. It is your dry lean mass, plus your water, plus your ligaments, plus your skeleton. That is what we're going to use to measure your muscle mass. So that is a significant number. The skeletal muscle mass is also located below with the data point and today's date, so you will be able to collect that information over time every time you plug your 10-digit cell phone number into the InBody machine. Underneath of there is once again your body fat mass. The next box is your obesity analysis. On the top is your body mass index. Body mass index is a height to weight ratio that's been used by physicians for over a century. It's got its inaccuracies and its discrepancies and it's got its criticisms. We don't even use it as a measurement of health because you have your percent body fat to look at. And if you look right there, it tells you what your percent body fat is right now. Typically, it will say that between 18 and 28% is well for a female, and between 18 and a half and 25% is well for a male, is what it will say. Nonetheless, you know what ground zero is and what your percent body fat is right there. This will also be cataloged in the bottom with today's date, and you'll be able to collect data points every time you plug your 10-digit cell phone number into the InBody machine. After that is segmental lean analysis. I'm going to skip it and go to the very bottom box one more time. Your body composition history. This will track your weight, skeletal muscle mass, percent body fat, and inflammation levels. This is the only information that you will be able to have the next time you step on the machine and plug your 10-digit cell phone number in. All the rest of the information that I've already gone through or I'm about to go through, if you want to know the changes in that information, you want to keep this sheet. That's how you'll be able to track that. So, back up to segmental lean analysis. This tells you how all of your musculature is distributed throughout your body. Usually people are not symmetrical with their muscle mass, and if you look at your right arm to your left arm, you might see there's a little bit of a discrepancy there. Probably the same with your right leg and your left leg. It doesn't necessarily mean a lot. It could be an indicator if you are more injurious on one side than the other, but for the most part, it's usually kind of a fun fact. The significance of it is let's say that your skeletal muscle mass goes up or down on your next reading and you wanted to geek out to see how much it went up or down. That would be your key to be able to figure out where you gained or lost muscle mass at. Heading over to the column on the right. If we look at your segmental fat analysis, this is the complete opposite of what your segmental muscle analysis was. This is telling you where all of your fat is distributed throughout your body. Usually people are more symmetrical with their fat than they are with their muscle. It's even more of a fun fact though because you can't target fat loss, otherwise we'd all be pointing at our belly trying to lose fat there. So it's not really that significant, but it can come in handy if your percentage of body fat goes up or if it goes down and you wanted to know where it went up or down at. So that's where it's a fun fact at. Next up, your basal metabolic rate. This is what the machine thinks through putting your information through a series of algorithms of how much calories you would need if you just woke up, sat down on a couch, and just breathed air all day. That's for basic normal body processes. The significance of it is if you were ever to use calorie counting as a method for your nutrition, which is a rudimentary way of looking at calorie counting and nutrition, because a calorie in is not necessarily a calorie out, but if you were to use it, you would never want to ingest less than this amount, because the amount indicated for your basal metabolic rate is going to tell you if you ingest less than that amount, you're going to lose weight. You're going to lose regular weight, water weight, fat, muscle mass as well. And then when you ingest more than your basal metabolic rate, which will happen, your body's going to soak it up like a sponge because it thinks you're going to put it in a state of deprivation again. And that is when the yo-yo dieting starts. So if you do use calorie counting, don't ingest less than the amount indicated on the basal metabolic rate. The last indicator here, or topic to look at, is the visceral fat level. I think this is one of the most important measurements on the entire sheet, and you want to look at this. Your visceral fat is your bad fat. It's the fat that's hard, it's around your organs, you cannot see it. It is one of the lead indicators of heart disease. This fat that you can see and jiggle and you want to get rid of, it is called subcutaneous fat. Subcutaneous fat can be lost in the fitness room and it can be also expedited with good nutrition. However, visceral fat, the fat that's hard and around your organs, only nutrition. Exercise, you cannot out-train visceral fat. So this is the guy who's like 60 years old, he's ripped, looks like a Greek god, he's playing tennis on the tennis court, and he dies of a heart attack because nobody could understand what was going on the inside of his body. The machine thinks that a healthy level is 10. So if you are below 10, you are indicated in the healthy level. Above 10 would be considered you want to get that number a little bit down. The machine will only register to a 20. So if your visceral fat index is a 20, it could be 21, it could be 22, it could be 23, or it could be 20, but it can't register higher than 20. Guys, that is how you can read the information on this sheet. Once again, don't freak out if you don't like your numbers. Just be happy that you know what ground zero is, and the only place to move from here is up. Thanks for listening.